Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We are joined by Dr. Paul for our healthy living, well, we're paging you. We're paging Dr. Paul, sorry. So the one thing I started to realize, Thanksgiving's right around the corner when you talked about our topic today.
That's right. Well, I forgot about it as well. When they asked me what the topic was today, I said, well, it's in a couple of weeks. No, it's not. It's actually the following weekend. So a lot of people are getting ready, to buy the turkey and to prepare it and so on. So I thought, we're changing the seasons. It would be a good idea to just talk about general food safety and focusing on the turkey. There's a lot of common misconceptions and questions that we always get about, how long does it take to thaw the turkey? How should I thaw the turkey and so on? And some rules of thumb that I'd like to review with you.
And is there medical implications to this? I mean, when it's not actually cooked properly?
Yes, that's the whole point. The poultry, chicken, turkey, etc., potentially can carry contaminated bacteria, Salmonella, E. coli, and so on. These are all bacteria that can give you digestive problems and more serious problems in young people or people with medical conditions or the elderly. And so it's important that these are handled properly and they're cooked properly. And at every stage of the preparation, there's a potential for contamination. So when you thaw it, when you freeze it, if you don't freeze it enough, if you keep it too long, afterwards in terms of leftovers. So you got to be careful. So a lot of people ask me, the first thing they ask me is, how long does it take for me to thaw it? How can I thaw it? And most people thaw it, take it, and don't think about it, and leave it outside to thaw. They shouldn't be doing that. They should
what should we be doing?
Well, first of all, they should be thawing it in the refrigerator, and they should thaw it on a covered or put a little plate, so the juices won't contaminate the other foods. That's number one. The other thing they should be doing is they don't realize it takes 24 hours for every 5 pounds of turkey. So if you've got a 15-pound turkey, you need 3 days to thaw it out. And that the implication of that will be, first of all, if you don't thaw it properly and put it in the oven, it'll take longer to cook, obviously. And secondly, the thawing process, again, I said, it may provoke bacteria, because bacteria are very picky in terms of temperatures. And any small temperature change, bacteria will grow. And so it's important for you to do the thawing and give it the necessary time. And that's why I wanted to talk about it a week or two before, because sometimes if you get a 25-pound turkey, you're looking at a 5-day process.
This is fascinating. I was like, okay, I didn't realize that. My concern has always been on the cutting board, or especially with chicken, and you realize that, you're trying to cook it all the way through, but there's lots of things that are left in the process.
Exactly. So that's the other point. So once you've thawed it out, you want to prepare it. Anything that touches the turkey, or any of the parts of the turkey, the cutting board, the knives, the fork, those type of things, should be immediately cleaned and sterile and disinfected, because very often, you're right, you don't use the same surface without cleaning it and prepare the salad, for example, because you will contaminate. But don't forget that there's contamination, bacteria will go into the salad or to the fork or whatever. And so it's important for you to wash your hands before and after handling the turkey. So that's the other thing. The other thing that people ask me about is, well, what's the temperature of the turkey? Well, again, it needs to be 85 degrees Celsius. And how do you measure it? Well, I recommend that people get a thermometer, and they say, well, how do I use it? Well, you have to put it in the thickest part of the breast and not touch the bone. And it should be 85 degrees. And so depending on the oven and so on, it has to be 85 degrees. Well, another question I get is fresh turkey. If I buy a fresh turkey, how quickly should I be cooking it? Well, you shouldn't buy it more than 48 hours before you're going to cook it. So you buy it, put it in the refrigerator. It's got to be at least 4 degrees, 4 degrees, in the fridge. And then you cook it. And then after that, they say, well, how long can I keep the food outside? You have a lot of people over and you have a platter and so on. Food should not be left in room temperature for more than 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things. And then they ask me about leftovers. What do I do with leftovers?
Can you wrap that up in 10 seconds?
Yes, put it in the fridge and no more than 2 or 3 days.
No more than 2 or 3 days, food out for no more than 2 hours.
Exactly.
5 pounds for...
5 pounds per day of thawing.
Okay. Interesting information. I think a lot of people are going to be thankful as they're heading in, because you're right, we are at that point taking things out of the freezer or actually making those purchases. Always a pleasure to see you.